Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Here we are, the Office Blokes.
Yeah.
Excuse me, on a very bright and fresh Monday morning. This. Monday afternoon.
Raring to go again. Well, seem to be raring to go on a Monday, don't we?
Buzzing, I am. Buzzing.
Full of energy.
Yeah,
and
hell of a weekend. Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, very good.
Michael's birthday today.
Yeah, and happy anniversary to you, mate.
Thank you very much.
Same day. That's the only reason you know it's my birthday. Correct. I know it's your anniversary because we're on the same day.
The O.J. Simpson chase. It was one of the. I think it was one of the biggest things going on in like the.
It was incredible,
like
wasn't it? Really,
the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
Thing.
We don't have anything like this over here at all.
No,
car chases. These are all streamed live.
Yeah,
everything, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
I mean, you still see it now. So I'd go on some channels sometimes on YouTube and watch like I don't know, something like Denver police or something in a helicopter chasing a car down the highway and all that. And I'm like,
bizarre.
brilliant. We'd never get anything like that, would we?
It's incredible. I'm sure what I remember of this, I mean, it's a long time since I've seen anything of it, but I'm sure there's absolutely loads of helicopters. It was like
would have been police helicopters.
It's like a squadron of the Royal Navy, Royal Air Force coming over or something.
Yeah, I don't know what this is about. Let's see the O.J. Simpson chase. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
On the morning of June 17, 1994, news reporters from all over Los Angeles raced to one specific location, pointing their cameras to capture a very brief moment. A moment that will probably be only a few seconds long. The location is the LAPD headquarters in downtown Los Angeles. And at around 11 a.m., over 1,000 journalists are gathered at the entrance. The moment they want to capture is the perp walk of O.J. Simpson, who any minute from now will be placed in handcuffs right here.
O.J. Simpson.
In the mid-90s, this was about as big a media spectacle as one can imagine.
Perhaps the greatest running back of all time.
O.J. Simpson was known as one of the most successful football players of all time. And besides his football career, he had made a name for himself as a media personality, appearing as a sports commentator, movie actor, and in several commercials.
Pioneer's New Country Spicy Chicken.
And not only would he be placed in custody, it would also be for one of the most serious crimes imaginable.
He was quite charismatic, wasn't he? Sort of like as a guy.
I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah,
That's
obviously a great footballer as well.
Yeah.
You know, but it's funny when you see a white Bronco. I was watching what's the TV show? Wheeler Dealers.
Yeah,
on TV with Mike Brewer.
That's right.
Yeah, I was watching one of them and he bought a Bronco. But every time you see a Bronco, I just went, OJ!
You have to say it like that as well. Can't just say OJ. OJ!
As soon as I seen it, it's what everyone says, I guess. I don't know if everyone says it, but every time I see a white Bronco, that's the first thing that springs to your mind. It's the chase that O.J. Simpson was in that chase.
Yeah.
But yeah, brilliant.
As O.J. Simpson was the main suspect in a double homicide investigation. 5 days earlier, in the Brentwood area of Los Angeles, 2 dead bodies were found. The victims were Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman, murdered in front of Brown's apartment. Nicole was O.J. Simpson's ex-wife, who for many years had been harassed by her former partner, both during the marriage as well as afterwards. O.J. is said to have regularly stalked her as well as been violent towards her.
911 emergency.
Can you get someone over here now to 325 Gretna Green? He's back. Please.
Well, okay, what does he look like?
He's O.J. Simpson. I think you know his record.
The second victim, Ron Goldman, was a friend of Brown's, and he just happened to be at Brown's apartment that night to drop off something she had forgotten. Traces of a perpetrator's blood were discovered at the crime scene, and this evidence was incriminating O.J., who became the main suspect. Based on this evidence, the police decided to arrest O.J. Simpson.
The Los Angeles County District Attorney has just filed murder charges against Orenthal James O.J. Simpson.
Due to his fame and previous cooperation with the police, it was assumed that there was no risk of an escape. After all, a famous celebrity like that wouldn't go on the run, they thought. And so, an agreement between the police and O.J.'s lawyers was made, allowing him to turn himself in at the police station, leading to this crowd of reporters. But this is where things go differently. Time passes, and after more than 2 hours, the reporters are suddenly asked to come inside the building. Not knowing why, they are stunned to hear the police statement.
The Los Angeles Police Department right now is actively searching for Mr. Simpson.
With OJ not showing up, police started heading his way. OJ Simpson had spent the night and morning in the San Fernando Valley, at the house of lawyer Robert Kardashian, with whom he maintained a long friendship. In addition to Simpson's legal team, there were also several doctors present, as well as Al Collins, OJ's former football teammate and a childhood friend. When the police officers arrived, they first met OJ's lawyers, who were agreeing to OJ calming down to be arrested.
We greeted them. They were very polite and courteous. They told us that they would follow normal procedure, handcuff OJ, and take him to the police station, and they agreed that we would be able to accompany him. At that time, it was suggested that Dr. Fairstein go up and tell him that he was going to be transported in handcuffs into custody.
When you look at murder trials from around the world and all that, this has to be probably one of the
most famous,
most watched.
Oh, it must be.
Must have been watched everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely everywhere.
I'm trying to think of a story, like a murder story that's sort of like come close to someone, the trial being watched by everyone.
I mean, the guy was so famous, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, you get sort of ones that are quite famous murder cases where they're notorious. Maybe
what's happened,
maybe how it's happened, maybe because it's been several murders and things like that. But yeah, someone so famous as this, I can't think of another one that's off the top of my head.
I was in London at weekend, and I was walking down the street, and one of my mates was with me. He said, "Remember Jill Dando when she got shot?" So I said, "Yeah." He went, "It's that house there."
Oh, really?
And I went, "Really?" I went, "Yeah." I said, and then it all, it looks familiar when
you
look at it, but bizarre thing, it was that house,
sort
of thing.
That was fairly
quite fake. Yeah,
it was over here, was it? Because she was
never been resolved.
No, not properly, because she was a big TV personality again, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she was.
Not on the same level as this, but it was.
It's sort of as a British thing. I think it was probably one of the biggest. You could call that without doubt. But this one, I mean, it's just worldwide. Yeah, absolutely everywhere.
Maybe Princess Diana. I don't know if they classify that as a murder or.
I don't think they do they? I think that's been classed as an accident, isn't it?
That was quite.
No one stood trial over it. I don't think anything of it. So
no. This was it was a strange one. This wasn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
It was at that time when Dr. Fairstein went in the room to alert him that we discovered for the first time that OJ was not present. Al Callings was not present.
With the two men gone, the only thing that was found in the room were 3 letters that OJ left behind, which to most people seemed to indicate that he was planning on taking his own life. One letter was addressed to his children, the other to his mother, and one to the general public. A letter which Robert Kardashian read aloud to reporters only a few hours later.
I think of my life and feel I've done most of the right things. So why do I end up like this? I can't go on.
One of the most famous personalities in the city and the country has disappeared. And almost at the same time as the police, thousands of reporters became aware of it and head on a search. It is the beginning of a race of who can track down OJ Simpson first. What no one knows at this point is that OJ is not hiding in any home, but is on the road. At this time, OJ is sitting in the passenger seat of a white Ford Bronco, while Cowlings, who owns the car, is driving, heading down south on the 405 freeway. The destination they picked is the Ascension Cemetery, located in Orange County, a place where the two of them had been to only a few hours earlier. On June 16, the day before this escape, the funeral of Nicole Brown Simpson took place right here. Even though there were already increasing doubts about OJ's innocence at the time, as the ex-husband of the victim, he attended the memorial service.
The mourning ex-husband, the grieving father, the focus of a murder investigation.
Now, a day later, OJ wanted to go back to her grave, presumably to harm himself right there. When the two arrive at the cemetery, they realize that it will not be possible to go to the graveside without being recognized.
Did you go to her grave?
Yes. Well, we never made it there because there was a police car blocking the entrance.
They wouldn't let you in?
Well, AC saw him and avoided going in.
Unsure on what to do next, Cowlings parks the car near the cemetery. According to his own statement, OJ wanted to wait for the police to leave so he could still go to the grave. While they were waiting, they turn on the radio, and they notice that there are reports on almost all frequencies about a large-scale search for the two. Presumably, in order not to be recognized, OJ now moves from the passenger seat to the back seat and lies down. And he instructs Cowlings to drive back up north, heading to his house, with the goal of meeting his mother there. Knowing that there is an active manhunt for him, O.J. Simpson then decides to call the police himself, who immediately trace the call to determine where it's coming from. The signal appears to originate near the El Toro Y interchange.
Attention all units and stations for Station 18 per LAPD. Attempt to locate 187 suspect. Southbound 5 freeway from El Toro at 16:46 hours in a white 1993 Ford Bronco, possible plate 3 Delta Hotel Yankee 503.
With this information, it doesn't take long until the first police car spots the vehicle.
241, I'm behind it. Occupied by a male black. Northbound 5, north of Red Hill.
Journalists all across LA were listening into police radio, and soon the first news chopper finds the chase and goes live on air.
Subject has stopped. The subject has stopped.
10-4, subject has stopped just past 17th northbound I-5.
Here 18-315, we have a traffic break northbound I-5 just north of Regional 7. He's continuing now. He is continuing.
Though Cowlings doesn't stop, he also doesn't try to outrun the police, traveling a mere 30 miles per hour. Due to the slow speed of the chase and the fact that no new cars can catch up from behind the police, the traffic around the Bronco drops significantly.
They seem to have cleared the freeway pretty much like they do when you see a presidential motorcade.
However, things are completely different in the airspace over the highway, where more than 9 different news helicopters are now broadcasting the chase to homes and sports bars all across the nation. As Cowlings continues to follow the highway,
I wonder what the police thoughts are on that. You've got to have a police helicopter there, but they've got news cameras and it's a bit
busy.
dodgy.
It's a busy airspace.
It's like a bit of a free for all as well, isn't it? It's not like going from A to B, so there's like a planned route or anything like that. This is just like flying anywhere they want, aren't they? So
I don't know if air traffic control tells them to stay at different heights. Or
right, okay. You think there'd be some sort of checks and balances there, wouldn't you?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure air traffic control will have something to say on what position in the yard. But it's, like you say, it's moving. They don't know where the motorcade's going.
That's it. If it turns off the motorway and starts going different directions straight away,
all the helicopters are all turning and going with it, aren't they?
Yeah.
he then calls 911, trying to negotiate with the police.
911, what are you reporting? This is AC. I have OJ in the car. Okay, where are you? Please, I'm coming up the 5 freeway. Okay. Right now, we all okay, but you gotta tell the police to just back off. He's still alive, but he got a gun to his head. What's your name? My name is AC. You know who I am, goddammit.
It's got point.
You know who I am. I've got OJ. OJ? Who's that?
OJ, what's his first name? What's his real name?
All righty, sir. Hold on just a moment.
Hi, what's your name? Hello?
The information that OJ is armed increases the danger.
Regional 710 for a cop could not see in the window of the vehicle.
And the LAPD tries to take advantage of the fact that there are cameras pointed at the car from nearly all directions, cooperating with the news choppers to try to get a better look at the situation.
Okay, what we're doing is we've asked the police department, they can't see through the windows, and we're allowed to shoot a picture through the windows to see if indeed he is back there with the gun.
Meanwhile, the Bronco leaves Interstate 5 and turns onto California's...
I either didn't know or forgot that he wasn't driving.
Same here. I thought he was driving. So yeah, it's a bit of a surprise to me when it said the AC guy was driving. But yeah, I'd forgotten about that. I thought he was at the wheel.
Same for some reason.
Yeah.
Unless it's just something that's slipped in memory.
Yeah, same
I don't remember,
Yeah.
State Route 91, heading west. Increasingly, onlookers are flocking to the side of the road, watching the chase in person. Wow. Years earlier, OJ was part of a well-known advertising campaign for the car rental company Hertz, appearing in ads where he runs through an airport terminal while being cheered on by onlookers.
Go, OJ, go!
Now, many are shouting this slogan, "Go, OJ, go," to the white Ford Bronco as it races past them, followed by the police. The chase has the entire country hold its breath. As it is Friday evening with several major sporting events taking place, TV viewership is already quite high. Now, OJ's chase catapults this to a completely new level. Sports broadcasts were either paused completely or relegated to a small frame at the edge of the screen. Some sports commentators who personally knew OJ even took the opportunity to appeal to him directly, encouraging him to give up. No game on a sports field could surpass the excitement of what was currently taking place on the streets of Los Angeles. For comparison, the most watched television event of that year, 1994, was the Super Bowl in January with 90 million viewers, which actually was the third most viewed Super Bowl ever at the time. But the OJ chase sets a new record. If you take the various broadcasts...
How many do you reckon?
I mean, what is it? Is this just in the States?
This is just the
USA,
States.
300 odd million there, I'm guessing, at the time.
About 300 million, is it?
Probably about 350 maybe it's at the time. 120?
Yeah, I was thinking 103 I was going to go with.
Yeah.
But it's a hell of
maybe
a lot.
I've got a bit too much, but even that's a lot.
Yeah.
Together, 95 million Americans are watching this chase. Looking at history, this means it was the 6th most watched broadcast on US television till that point, which is especially remarkable.
What's the day after? I knew the MASH finale was big. I thought MASH finale was number 1 actually.
Wow. I didn't realise it was that big, MASH.
Yeah, it was huge. It was the finale. It was the most.
That's a program I never really got into. You know,
I thought it was number 1. I've had that in a quiz question a few times. I'm sure it always comes up as the number 1. But I guess it might have been
maybe
it's
a TV show. Where it's obviously the Apollo 11 moon landing
and Nixon's resignation. And then I don't know what the day after is. Do you? 83.
No. Remember Roots, because we had that over here, didn't we?
We did.
Excellent series.
And
day after, I'm not sure.
Then all sport related. Seven to bottom is all sport, and it's Spinks v Muhammad Ali.
All like quite old as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Wow. Goes to show really nothing of significant. I imagine it. I mean,
maybe things are diluted a bit more because there's more to watch, more channels. Maybe people are watching more things rather than I think in especially 70s and 80s. I think like we had 4 channels, and Christmas specials. Everybody watched it because there's nothing else on.
That's probably what you're talking about with something like MASH and things like that.
Yeah,
that's an incredible amount of people watching this. But it's gripping, isn't it? It's gripping TV.
Of course, it
people
is.
want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? But it is. It's the jeopardy, isn't it? It's what's going to happen next, sort of thing. So,
considering that almost all other events on this list were announced and advertised weeks and months prior, while this event happened on the spot. Meanwhile, the white Ford Bronco turns again and switches to Interstate 405, now heading further north.
Team 241 is indicating that he is making a cell phone call.
Knowing that OJ is using a cell phone while driving, LAPD detective Tom Lang remembers that he had written down OJ's number and decides to call it. To his surprise, OJ picks up.
Just let me get to my house.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
I swear to you, I'll give you I'll give you me. I'll give you my whole body.
Okay.
I just need to get to my house.
Okay. We're gonna do that. Just throw the gun out the window.
I can't do that.
We're not gonna bother you. We're gonna let you go up there. Just throw it out the window, please. You're scaring everybody. OJ, you there?
As OJ and Cowlings approach the Brentwood neighborhood where OJ's house is located, the car leaves the freeway and makes its way through the more narrow streets. On the phone, Lang tries to calm down a dangerous OJ Simpson, repeatedly mentioning his children and his family.
You're listening to me, I know you, and you're thinking about your kids right now, aren't you? Aren't you?
Oh.
They're thinking about you. They're thinking about you. So is your mother. Your mother loves you.
I'm the only one that deserves.
No, you don't deserve that.
Get hurt.
You do not deserve to get hurt. You do not deserve to get hurt. Don't do this.
All I did was love Nicole. All I did was love her.
I understand.
I love everybody. I try to show everybody my whole life that I love everybody.
We know that, and everybody loves you.
Lang increasingly flatters the celebrity and makes it about OJ himself, calling him by his football nickname, the Juice.
Juice, don't give in now. You've been a man all your life. You're admired. Don't give it up.
At 7:57 p.m., still unstopped by the police, the Ford Bronco arrives at OJ's house. Cowlings pulls into the driveway and parks. As they come to a stop, Jason, OJ's son, runs straight towards the car, seemingly shouting through the driver's window.
All right, who is that out there? Just toss it, Juice.
The police officers who were in the house were worried that this could escalate the situation, and they step in to lead Jason away from the car. On the call audio, you can now hear Cowlings as he is trying to stop OJ from harming himself.
Don't do it, OJ. Don't make them. They got you, OJ. Please, listen to me. Listen to me, OJ. Listen to me. Please, I'm begging you, man. OJ, no, OJ.
If there is anyone at this point who still doubts that the extremely cautious approach by the police throughout this chase is atypical to how LAPD operated at that time, what happens next will make it clear. Over a period of 15 minutes, negotiations between the car and police take place. Occasionally, Cowlings even steps out of the car, shouting at officers who seem to approach them. Ultimately, they come to an agreement. OJ will surrender himself, but on his own terms. He leaves the car and is allowed to go into the house, where his lawyers also arrive. Here, OJ is allowed to drink a glass of orange juice and have a phone call with his mother. Only then he's being handcuffed and placed into a police car, heading to the LAPD Parker Center to be placed in custody. The chase has come to an end. Besides working on this story, I recently spent a lot of my time crafting a video about a completely different escape attempt.
I was getting all tense at the end, I was.
It's like I say, it's just a bizarre sort of like circumstance, wasn't it?
It is, and the ending to it, negotiate, let them go back in the house, and
I wonder how many people watched this trial. Like the verdict.
Ooh, that must have been a lot as well.
What's his numbers
guessing.
on that? How many's done on the verdict? Is that the end of the video? I think. Probably
going off to something else there, wasn't he?
Something else. But yeah, it's a.
It's very well explained, actually. Though.
Yeah, it was.
To be fair.
Actually, there's a lot of stuff in there. I've either forgot or I didn't know.
Same here. Yeah, definitely.
But there's it's just a bizarre circumstance, and I guess any country where you've got someone who's like an elite athlete sort of thing, people are going to watch with interest, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Something's gone wrong.
Elite athlete, absolute superstar there, wasn't he? A huge personality. Like everybody knew him over there. So. It was just, it was a huge story at the time. Yeah, it was really good.
It was interesting.
Very interesting.
Good
really
video,
good.
Well put together.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.